Welcome to preliminary final day at the 1999 Women's National Championship. Today, the ACT against Queensland, and the winner goes on to play New South Wales. Joyce, which team do you think it'll be?
It should be a tough game, Michael. Kelly Gentle pitched so well against the Victorians in the last game. If she can come out, pitch the same game, she's going to make it tough for those Queensland hitters.
We've got a beautiful day here in Adelaide for this preliminary final battle between Queensland and the ACT. Now you can see the umpires just exchanging the lineup cards with the coaches, Richard McCready and Simon Rossfuss from Queensland. And your umpires for today's game are Leslie Steedman, she'll call the balls and strikes, Neville Lawrence, Damien McCauley and Matt Gowdy over at third base. The batting lineup for Queensland, they'll come to the plate first, and their lead-off hitter is the right fielder, Sandra Allen. She's hitting 263, followed by Kim Cooper at 273, then Tanya Harding and Hayley Petrie hitting 316. Batting in the 5 spot is Frankie McRae, Marissa Kapadios, Natalie Shapiro, Sharon Davies hits 8, and the designated hitter, Anne Vogler, batting 200, hits in the 9th spot. Defensively for the ACT around the outfield, Shelley Moore, Tiana Westbury and Natasha Devlin. The infielders are Kate Judd, Lisa Pridham, Susie Brown and Kylie Bloodworth. Joanne Brown does the catching, and pitching for the ACT in this crucial knockout game, Kelly Gentle, 24 innings, 20 strikeouts and 14 walks, and a pretty impressive earned run average of 1.167.
It's going to be a great game here today. Queensland are a tough team. Kelly Gentle's going to have a great game here to keep these batters at bay.
Lead-off hitter Sandra Allen takes the first pitch down for a ball. And pretty important that ACT get off to a good start in this game. They've really got to contain the Queensland batters early in the game to give themselves a chance to advance to the grand final against New South Wales.
Kelly Gentle starting with a couple of balls early in the count.
"20 strikeouts, but quite high. 14 base-on balls issued by Kelly Gentle so far in the fast-pitch championship. And immediately she falls behind 3 balls and no strikes to Sandra Allen.
And the aim of the lead-off hitter is to get on base. And a lot of lead-off hitters are great at picking balls and strikes, and that's why they have Sandra Allen there.
And she does that job, a pitch up out of the strike zone, and Sandra Allen's aboard.
And they weren't really even close strikes. Not a good start from Kelly Gentle. You really don't want that lead-off hitter on base. Gives a good chance with Kim Cooper coming in, who's a good bunter.
And there she does. She squares to bunt, but fouls it straight back. Kim Cooper hitting 273. She's got 6 hits so far and 5 runs batted in.
Kim Cooper, a state representative now since 1984, so she's been in the team a long time and now captain.
Again squares to bunt, and a pitch just inside. Good eye evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that's a nice selection of that pitch there. Would have been quite easy to try and bunt that, but it just curved in off that plate.
Squares to bunt that one. Straight down the middle, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Again, 2 strikes on. Simon obviously wants a bunt. It'll be interesting to see what he does here, whether he makes Kim bunt again on the 3rd strike or lets her hit away.
Ground ball down to third base to Kate Judd, but just foul. It's the ball in the same spot. This one's fair. Here's the throw to second base. They don't get her. Great running by Sandra Allen.
Sandra Allen gets a great start there. That's good running from Sandra Allen, because that's a fairly hard hit ball. And third base would have thought they would have had a great chance of getting the lead runner.
They went for her and didn't get her, and it was just a case of good running. Kate Judd came up with the ball cleanly, made a good strong throw, but Sandra Allen beat it out. We've now got runners at first and second, and Tanya Harding, first base for Queensland, steps in batting 304.
Tanya Harding going for that high ball out of the strike zone.
This is just exactly what ACT didn't want. It's very important for them to get off to a really good start against this powerful Queensland team. And here we have 2 runners on and nobody out in the top of the first.
Yes, you did.
Tanya Harding squares to bunt and can't lay bat on the pitch. That runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's a good move there from Simon Rossbus. Runners on 1 and 2, trying to put down the bunt and get his runners to second and third. So he's got 2 runners in scoring position.
That pitch is outside and Tanya Harding lays off it.
Let's do it. Come on, Ken. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good work, honey. Right out there. Good job.
And again, Kelly Gentle just having trouble with her control. Really running out to long counts on all of these hitters, and it's not a good sign early in the ball game for the ACT.
Come on, Ken.
Tanya Harding hits this very hard into right field. It's a deep, long fly ball, and well handled by Natasha Devlin. Both the runners tag and advance to second and third with 1 out.
And that's a great sacrifice fly. She hits it perfectly to the opposite side of the field. Had that ball have been hit to left field, the runners may not have got to third base and second base. But great positioning, Tanya Harding. Nice hit.
And a very nice catch so deep in the outfield by Natasha Devlin. There she is. Fired it back into the infield. And now we bring up the clean-up hitter for Queensland, the centre fielder, Hayley Petrie, hitting 316.
Good job. Great job. Good work.
There's some tough batters here for the ACT team to throw against. Regular members of the Australian team, Sandra Allen, Kim Cooper, Tanya Harding, Hayley Petrie, Frankie McRae, they're all in there, one after the other.
That pitch up and in, and Hayley Petrie can't get the bat out of the way. Fouls it off. 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. It's been an outstanding fast pitch championship for Hayley Petrie.
Picture of concentration as usual, Hayley, when she's in the batting box. Oh, a lovely slow pitch from Kelly Gentle.
Really was. Dropped out of the bottom of the strike zone. Hayley Petrie swung over it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Hayley's such an aggressive hitter, really hits the ball hard. She's always going to have those sucker pitches thrown in against her to try and put her off a bit.
Good job.
There's another one, but it's too high up out of the strike zone.
Come on now. Big time.
Only 1 out, and they've got runners in scoring position. 1 safe hit here might score 2 runs.
It's the ball to third base, Kate Judd. They've got it caught and out at the plate. Nice play by Kate Judd. Sandra Allen went on contact. As soon as it was hit, she took off, and they get her at the plate for the 2nd out.
And that's good base running from Sandra Allen. Runners on 2 and 3 when that ball's hit on the ground. If she goes straight away, it's a lot harder to make it out at home. There's more pressure on the catcher. So great play, good running there from Queensland.
All to no avail as Kate Judd fires it to Joanne Brown, and with 2 out, we now have runners at first and third, and the left fielder, Frankie McRae.
That was a good pressure play there from young Kate Judd.
This ball's ripped into left field. The opening run of the game comes in to score. Kim Cooper. Slight fumble from Shelley Moore. But no further damage, and Queensland lead 1-0.
Timely hit there from Frankie McRae. She just gets that bat out to it, out on the outside, makes it nice and easy for that runner to score. And must have been missed by the second runner there to actually get round to home, because that fumble in the outfield could have meant 2 runs.
There we go, Cal. Come on, Cal. Right in here.
And with 1 run in and runners at first and second, here's the catcher, Marissa Capadios. 3 hits from 15 turns of bat, but 5 runs batted in.
Yes, Marissa, great catcher. Needs to work a little bit on hitting. Last year didn't have such a great tournament with the bat, but is improving every year. It's great to see.
Swings that one, but it's fouled back over the screen. Just behind the Queensland dugout. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 out here in the top of the first. Queensland on top, 1-0.
1 strike.
That's good batting. Not being tempted to hit that high ball.
Goes down and reaches one and hits it in the left field. Nice piece of hitting, and here comes the runner to the plate. It's going to be close. She's safe. 2-0 in favour of Queensland.
Time.
Marissa Capadios will feel great about that. She's getting better in these crunch situations. That wasn't a bad pitch either. That was really unlucky for ACT. Kelly Gentle puts in a pitch down low inside, but Marissa Capadios slams it down to left field and gets in another runner for Queensland.
Here comes Hayley Petrie to the plate on a close play. She slides in under Joanne Brown. Pretty good base running as well from Frankie McRae and Marissa Capadios. They're on second and third now with 2 out.
And another young player here, Natalie Shapiro, now a regular member of the Queensland team, and also in the AIS squad.
And hits this one hard as well, but a line drive right at the shortstop. Lisa Pridham handles it, but not before Queensland scored 2 big runs to jump out to an early lead.
That's fantastic, this innings. It's great to see the younger players getting out there and getting the crunch hits.
So 2 hits in the top of the first, and just what ACT didn't need, an early Queensland lead, but they'll have their chance as they come to bat. Led off by Sally McCready hitting 310, followed by Susie Brown, Joanne Brown hitting 333, and the clean-up spot the centre fielder Tiana Westbury, then Lisa Pridham, Natasha Devlin, Kylie Bloodworth, Kate Judd hits 8th, and in the 9th spot the left fielder Shelley Moore. Defensively for Queensland, the outfielders are Frankie McRae, Hayley Petrie and Sandra Allen. In the infield, Natalie Shapiro, Kim Cooper, Sharon Davies and Tanya Harding. The catcher is Marissa Capadios, and pitching for Queensland, Brooke Wilkins, thrown 21 innings, struck out 28 hitters and walked just 7.
Brooke Wilkins, originally from New South Wales, her second year with the Queensland team, left-handed, very fast.
Fires a high, hard one in to start with. And there we have it, 28 strikeouts in 21 innings, just 3 hits conceded, and she's going to be a really tough opposition for these ACT hitters. But if anyone can hit her, it's the leadoff batter, Sally McCready.
That's right, Sally can hit any pitcher in the world. She's a great hitter.
Goes after that one, fouls it back and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
ACT really need to get a run in here. They'd be looking at trying to get a run each innings now.
Yeah, it really was not the start they wanted. I think a lot of people felt that they had to keep it scoreless for quite a while in the game and then take their chance towards the end, but that hasn't happened already.
Nice pitch in there. And a nice swing too from Sally McCready. I think for ACT, they're always going to have a few problems. They really need a pitcher in there who's going to throw with some speed.
Pretty hard pitch on the outside, but just misses. Sally McCready lays off it. Nice pitch, outside corner, and strike out for the first out of the game.
And that leaves Sally McCready just standing there watching. She nearly went for it. She put her hands out to it and decided not at the last moment. Beautiful pitch from Brooke Wilkins.
So with that first out, it brings up Susie Brown, the second base for the ACT.
And that's right in there. I mean, when you think of Queensland having 3 great Australian pitchers and ACT not having any, if you put one of those pitchers in their team, they'd be in there. They'd be a grand final team.
But even so, they're not far away from the grand final. It's just one more win for either of these teams to get into the final to play New South Wales. And right now, even this early in the game, Queensland have got to be the favoured team. Great pitch, right on the inside. Sort of fooled Susie Brown. She just tried to fend it off, and that's 2 strikeouts for Brooke Wilkins.
And Brooke Wilkins is starting off very well. She's throwing that ball hard. I'd like to know how fast she's throwing it at the moment. That certainly came across high, and it would have been hard to get your hands out early enough to hit that.
So with 2 out in the bottom of the first, here's the catcher, Joanne Brown. Another hitter having a great tournament, 9 hits, 1 home run and 8 runs batted in for the ACT catcher. Gets a really good swing away at that one, but just fouls it straight back.
And it's a definite advantage for someone like Brooke Wilkins being left-handers. There's not many of them about in Australia.
This ball is ripped into right field. Great piece hitting by Joanne Brown. And she beats out the throw from Sandra Allen. First hit of the game for the ACT.
And that's a high pitch in there from Brooke Wilkins to Brown. And she smashes it out to right field. Actually, I think it's almost an inside hit, and she's hit it inside out. Hit it late, but got a lot of power to it. Sandra Allen does a great job. Right field's just like another infielder. Make those outs at first base.
And now with a runner at first base and 2 out, the clean-up hitter, the centre fielder, Tiana Westbury.
Another nice pitch in there from Brooke Wilkins.
She looks in pretty good form even this early in the ball game. 2 strikeouts to start, then the hit to Joanne Brown, and now she's well ahead of Tiana Westbury.
And I think that's the point. Jo Brown came out and was very attacking against Brooke, and that's what they need to do.
Westbury lost this high into centre field, but it looks like a comfortable catch for Hayley Petrie, and it is to end the inning.
And that's not a bad shot there from Tiana Westbury. She looks fairly attacking there as well. Swings that bat hard at that high pitch from Brooke Wilkins.
Really got off the back foot and lofted it into centre field. But Hayley Petrie has no trouble with these.
Thanks.
And that ends the first inning, and what a good inning for Queensland. They got the couple of hits and came through with 2 runs. They lead 2-0. In the top of the second inning, Sharon Davies comes to bat and hits a ground ball to shortstop. Comfortable one for Lisa Pridham. Gets her by a couple of steps to the first out. And that brings up Anne Vogler facing Kelly Gentle. Squares around and just hits it to Susie Brown. Nice backhand take and a comfortable throw for the second out. 2 quick ground balls and 2 outs here in the top of the second. And then Sandra Allen steps in and hits the ball high into left field. It's hooking into foul territory. A long run for Shelley Moore. Gets there in plenty of time though and makes a comfortable catch, and that's for all for Queensland in the top of the second. In the bottom of the inning, Lisa Pridham steps in against Brooke Wilkins and she strikes out. 3rd strikeout of the game for Wilkins, and now it's Natasha Devlin's turn. And same result, great drop ball, swings over it. 2nd strikeout of the inning. And then Kylie Bloodworth with 2 out, lifts the ball high into left field. Frankie McRae settles in under it and handles it comfortably to retire the side. We then head to the top of the 3rd inning, and Kim Cooper leads off for Queensland, hits the ball on the ground straight to Kate Judd, takes plenty of time, makes a comfortable throw for the first out. Tanya Harding's up next, and she hits the ball on the ground down the line, just past Kate Judd. It's handled by Shelley Moore out in left field, and Tanya Harding holds at first base with a single. Hayley Petrie's next, comes around to bunt. It's a pretty good one. Tough play for Kelly Gentle, but makes a strong throw. Nice take by Susie Brown. But Hayley Petrie does the job. Tanya Harding at second base with 2 out. And now Frankie McRae trying to drive her in, but can only hit the ball straight back to Kelly Gentle. And that retires Queensland with no extra score. We head on to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kate Judd leads off against Brooke Wilkins, and same story for the leadoff hitter in each inning. She strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for Wilkins. And now Shelley Moore comes in. Squares around a barn, pops it up in the air. Nice catch by Marissa Kapadios. That's quite a tough play from behind the plate to jump out there, finish up on her knees, and takes the catch for the 2nd out. And then Sally McCready off Brooke Wilkins' glove. But nice reactions from Kim Cooper over to first base. That retires the side, and the score remains 2-0 in favour of Queensland. The game now heads into the middle innings, the top of the 4th. Queensland retain that 2-0 lead. 3 hits to 1. Error-free ball game thus far, but Simon Rossiter's got to be pretty happy with the performance of his Queensland team, but no doubt looking for more runs here in the top of the 4th. And he'll be looking to the catcher, Marissa Kapadios, who leads off against Kelly Gentle.
And Marissa, who had the hit last time up to bat.
Frankie McRae and Marissa Kapadios back-to-back singles in the 1st inning, put the 2 runs across the plate. And now Kapadios will be looking to get it started again. Goes after this one, hits it hard, but pulls it foul.
Yes, another low ball there to Kapadios. She gets that back shoulder underneath it and drives it for a foul ball.
Kelly Gentle just misses up out of the strike zone. But Kelly Gentle seems to really have settled into her work now. She's retired 7 of the last 8 hitters she's faced and looks a lot more comfortable than she did as the game opened in the top of the 1st.
Nice swing there. And a good pitch from Kelly Gentle.
Yeah, nice location on the outside corner. Kapadios went after it, but could only foul it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 4th.
I don't know about you, but I'm looking at how Kapadios is approaching that ball, and that back shoulder's right down. You'd think she wouldn't be able to hit a high ball. She slammed a low ball last time, but they're persisting on throwing low balls to her here.
They stay down on her again, and she hits it into left field, right down the line. Handled by Shelley Moore, and there it was. They kept pitching the ball down, and she kept getting good swings away, and eventually the hit came.
Yeah, she has that perfect swing. If you watch her here, back shoulder underneath it, and drives it out to left field. Perfect for a low ball. I'd like to see what she'd do with a high ball.
And right on the line, perfect placement as well. So we've got a runner at first base, no one out for Natalie Shapiro. Squares around a bunt, but can't get it out in front of the plate, and it fouls away.
Again, looking for that sacrifice bunt, putting the ball on the ground, getting that runner through to second. Actually getting yourself out so your runner can make the next base.
And with the runner at second base, it's much easier to score on a base hit, and that's what Queensland are trying to do. But the pitch gets inside and hits Natalie Shapiro.
Ow. That hurt.
Looked like it might have got up, on the leg, just on the thigh. She tried to get out of the way, but if she's hit by the pitch, she goes down to first base. Runners at first and second for Sharon Davies. And she drops down the barn. Here's Kate Judd, off-balance throw, but a nice one to first base. She took a look to third and then decided to go to first. Sharon Davies gets the job done.
Yes, perfect bunt there from Sharon Davies. Third base hasn't got time enough to throw to get the lead runner. Perfect sacrifice. Runners on 2 and 3, scoring position.
And the designated hitter, Anne Vogler, steps in against Kelly Gentle. Nice pitch on the outside, just drifted away. Anne Vogler tried to lay off it.
And Anne Vogler batting for the pitcher, Brooke Wilkins. Last game, Sharon Davies, if I remember correctly, was DH'd. She's in hitting this game.
Vogler hits a chopper to second base, but it gets away from Susie Brown. They've got a close play at first, don't get her, and a run scores. And Vogler just leading off first, but it's 3-0 now in favour of Queensland.
And Anne Vogler gets a good piece of that, slams it down into the ground hard, and that's a good attempt from Susie Brown. And Lisa Pridham comes across and tries to make that out afterwards.
And there's Marissa Capadio scoring on the play on what really was a pretty tough ground ball. Susie Brown tried to backhand it, couldn't come up with it. And Queensland extend their lead, and they still have 2 runners on base. Back to the top of the order with the lead-off hitter, Sandra Allen.
Split runners on 1 and 3 for Queensland. This is always an interesting one to see what teams do. One of the more interesting plays in softball, runners on 1 and 3, whether the coach tries to get the runner through to 2.
Sandra Allen just gets the bat out over the strike zone, can't hold back, fouls it off, 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Hits this ball hard though, but pulls it foul.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, Sandy.
Here we go, Cal.
Really gave that a lot of effort, that pitch from Kelly Gentle, but just overthrew it, and it was way up out of the strike zone. Well handled by Joanne Brown behind the plate.
And it's obvious Simon Rosquist has a lot of confidence or a lot of respect for catcher Joe Brown here, because he's leaving his runner standing on first base.
Sandra Allen lifts this into right field. A nice piece of hitting. That's going to score Natalie Shapiro. And Vogler's coming to third. She's going to be in safe. Great job by Queensland. It's 4-0.
That's great batting there from Sandra Allen. She hits it out to right field behind her runners, which is absolutely perfect. Allows them to get an extra base.
And really got it in the gap, so Natasha Devlin had a long way to go to get it. Here's the long throw to third base. It was a good one, but not in time for Anne Vogler.
Yes, if that throw had been right on, she might have had that runner. But just off the mark, just a little bit, Natasha Devlin.
There's Natalie Shapiro, comes in to score. Queensland now lead 4-0 and look in great shape as Leanne Tyler comes on to pitch for the ACT.
And this will be an interesting one because Leanne Tyler was originally a Queensland player, has been playing many years over in America.
Here the planes, we're pretty close to the airport here at West Beach. This is a tough job for Leanne Tyler. She comes in with runners on base, 1 out, and Queensland looking very, very strong and looking like they're on their way to take this game and go into the grand final.
Still a tough situation. Runners on 2 and 3 with Captain Kim Cooper up to bat. And Leanne Tyler looks a little bit slower than Kelly Gentle here, so the Queensland girls will have to adjust to that.
And Kim Cooper just looking to loft the ball in the outfield or hit it down the right side to drive in one of these runs. With 1 out, there's a lot of options here for Queensland to get this extra run across the plate, and they'd love to extend it to 5-0.
That pitch is right in there for a strike. Cooper decides to have a look at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the batter.
Goes after this one, hits it high into left field. This is going to be a chance for a run, a close play if Shelley Moore can get a good throw in, but she goes to third rather than to home, and Kim Cooper gets the job done, scores Anne Vogler. It's 5-0.
Good play there from Kim Cooper, hits a long fly ball out to left field. Runner on third base, Anne Vogler tags up, waits till the ball's been touched and takes off, sprints home for another easy run for Queensland.
The throw going to third base means that Sandra Allen had to hold at second, and she's there as Tanya Harding steps in, now hitting 320.
It's a tough time for a pitcher to come in here.
It really is.
Runners on base in scoring position. Kim Cooper up, and now Tanya Harding. Great hitter for Queensland, great hitter for Australia.
And Tanya Harding drives this hard as well into left field, but it's going to be handled by Shelley Moore, and that ends the threat. 3 runs across the plate.
Yes, and Queensland are looking very confident at this stage.
And looking very strong with this 5-0 lead on 5 hits to 1. As we head into the bottom of the 4th, there's the airport just right, not too far from the field. As Susie Brown steps in for the ACT against Brooke Wilkins.
And 5 runs behind Brooke Wilkins makes it a lot easier, takes the pressure off her. And Carpathius gets one on the inside of the leg. Ouch, I know how she feels.
Pretty tough job being a catcher.
Well, especially when you're catching to someone like Brooke. Being a left-hander, she's so quick. She's a fast pitcher. Beautiful slow pitch there. Susie Brown wants it. They look so easy to hit.
Yeah, when they leave the pitcher's hand, they look like they're coming down the middle, and then they just lose that pace and drop away. Hitters end up chasing them. No balls and 2 strikes. Just reaches out, little half swing, chops the ball up, and here comes Tanya Harding with a very comfortable catch for the first out.
Yeah, Susie, oh, she got halfway through that swing, I believe, and went, oh, I don't want to hit this, and couldn't pull out in time. Bit of a check swing and an infield fly into Tanya Harding.
And with 1 out, we see the catcher, Joanne Brown, had a base hit to right field last time up, but swings through the first pitch from Brooke Wilkins.
Bit of a slow pitch there from Brooke.
Come and go, Chop, come and go.
Here you go, Blue. Come on, Blue.
Yes, Joey's sitting there saying also, I wish I'd gone for that one.
Brooke Wilkins looking very good. The only base runner she's allowed so far was Joanne Brown back in the first inning with a single to right field that raised her average to 357. This ball is absolutely ripped at the shortstop, Kim Cooper. 2 well-hit balls in the game by Joanne Brown, but this one results in the second out.
Joanne Brown is hot. She's getting better for someone who struggled at the beginning of the tournament. She's seeing that ball big and slamming that ball of Brooke Wilkins to Kim Cooper.
It's about as well as you can hit the ball, but unfortunately she hit it right at someone, and that someone was the shortstop. And with 2 out, we now have the centre fielder, Tiana Westbury.
Not much time for the batters here to actually swing this ball.
Tiana's done a great job in this tournament, hitting 321, really provided a good option behind Joanne Brown. And she hits this ball high. Great catch! Excellent stuff by Sharon Davies. Jumps up and takes another line drive. 2 hard-hit balls, but they come to nothing for the ACT.
That's great to see ACT coming out and swinging that bat hard. Fantastic effort by Tiana Westbury and Sharon Davies as well.
And after 4 complete innings, it leaves the score at 5-0. Queensland leading 5-0. It's their turn again at the top of the 5th, and with 1 out, Frankie McRae lofts the ball into left field. It just falls in front of Shelley Moore. Can't come up with it, so another base runner for Queensland. And now Marissa Carpathius, the catcher, steps in. Had a great game so far with a couple of hits, and does it again. Another low pitch and lifts it into left field. Again handled by Shelley Moore. Back-to-back base hits for Queensland gives them runners at first and second with 1 out. Now Natalie Shapiro with a chance to drive in a run. Ground ball to the shortstop. Lisa Pridham tags the base runner, goes to second. Got a great double play. Outstanding defense by Lisa Pridham. Natalie Shapiro can't believe it. And ACT are out of the jam as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And with 1 out, Natasha Devlin steps in against Brooke Wilkins. Puts the ball on the ground, off the glove of Natalie Shapiro, and then sends Kim Cooper the wrong way. So it gives the ACT a chance here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. And now Kylie Bloodworth steps in, hits the ball very hard and deep into centre field. Hayley Petrie, what a catch on the run back towards the fence. And that was outstanding defence, a great piece of hitting by Kylie Bloodworth, but it ends with Hayley Petrie for the second out. And now Kate Judd steps in, and Brooke Wilkins strikes her out looking to end the inning in the bottom of the 5th. We now head to the top of the 6th inning. Another chance for Queensland against Leanne Tyler. And with 1 out, Anne Vogler steps in, and she makes great contact straight back up the middle between the pitcher's legs and out into centre field. And she's pretty happy with that. After a fly ball and a walk, there's 2 out and 2 runners on. Tanya Harding lifts the ball into right field, and here comes Natasha Devlin, makes a comfortable catch running in. And that ends another great scoring opportunity for Queensland. Now in the bottom of the 6th, time running out for the ACT, but with 1 out, Sally McCready starts to make things happen. Drives the ball into right field. Here comes Kelly McKellar, throws it wild, but well backed up by Marissa Kapadios. And ACT get a base runner in the 6th. Susie Brown then gets one and lifts it over the pitcher's head into centre field. And finally a great scoring opportunity for the ACT, and they need to make things happen now as they trail 5-0. Joanne Brown's up, their best hitter, but she manages to top the ball into the ground to shortstop. Kim Cooper makes a comfortable play for the 2nd out. Joanne Brown hoping to drive in a run but couldn't do it, and with runners at 2nd and 3rd, Tiana Westbury, the clean-up hitter, steps in against Brooke Wilkins. Really good situation here for the ACT with 2 runners on, but Tiana Westbury strikes out, and the damage is not done against the Queensland pitcher, and they retain the lead 5-0. Into the top of the 7th inning, and a beautiful day here in Adelaide, looking out over the trees to the water. Just a lovely setting for softball here at West Beach. And a lovely setting for Queensland. They lead 5-0. Natalie Collins now pitching for the ACT.
Play ball.
ACT will be trying anything at this stage to keep these Queensland batters at bay. And Hayley Petrie up to bat.
ACT had a couple of good chances in the 6th inning, but they couldn't convert. And now Hayley Petrie with 10 runs batted in and a .286 batting average would love to extend this lead for Queensland here in the 7th inning.
And 2 balls on Hayley Petrie. Natalie Collins would want to start out hitting the strike zone, take the pressure off herself early.
Nice pitch, right on the outside corner. Good spot.
Hayley Petrie will be looking to get a first hit for the game here.
Powerful swing on a pitch up in the strike zone, but fouls it back and evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Powerful swing is exactly right when it comes to Hayley.
Yeah, she certainly got after that one, and this is a great opportunity for Queensland here against Natalie Collins to try and extend this lead and get some more confidence as they head towards the grand final.
Another swing at that outside pitch. I think of all the batters I know, I think the 2 strongest hitters, the 2 strongest softballers would have to be Hayley Petrie and Sally McCready. Amazing strength for women.
Natalie Collins still firing the ball up high in the strike zone. Hayley Petrie still fouling it back. Pretty good battle here to open the 7th inning. Wow. What? Absolutely hammered that foul, the change-up.
Was a little bit high there from Natalie, let it go too late. The sucker ball, the slow pitch you want, really wanted to be sitting low in the strike zone.
After a whole series of strikes and foul balls, pitch is high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count on Hayley Petrie.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
It's an inside pitch there. Hayley gets to it late. It's good lead-off hitting from Petrie here, taking lots of strikes.
And that pitch misses up and in. So after a great battle between hitter and pitcher, Hayley Petrie wins the day and walks. She's at first base with no one out.
Something a pitcher hates, throwing that many pitches to a batter and then letting a walk to first base. Natalie Collins did a good job there, but couldn't quite finish off Hayley Petrie, so she's standing on first base with Frankie McRae up to bat.
And McRae goes after the first one and hits it high in the air, back behind the plates, but Joanne Brown uncharacteristically can't come up with it. It was coming straight down and it fell out of the glove.
Yes, you never feel any good. I think you feel like actually walking underneath the plate or the nearest base when you miss an easy fly. But everybody does it. Doesn't matter how good you are.
So a let off for Frankie McRae and a second chance.
At this stage, it's 5 runs to 0. Runner on first base. You'd normally see a bunt here, but with 5 runs up, Simon Roskis is going to hit out of this situation. He doesn't really need to keep getting those runners through and pushing them around.
2 strikes.
Frankie McRae lifts another pitch high in the air. This is in short centre field. Lisa Prida makes good territory and comfortably handles it for the first out.
And Frankie McRae trying to drag that outside ball around, not quite getting the power to it, and flying it up to Lisa Pridham.
And with 1 out and a runner at first, here's the catcher, Marissa Kapadios.
Batting 1,000. 3 hits from 3. She's having a great game, Marissa.
Really is. Came into the game hitting just 200 with 3 hits for the tournament. She's doubled that now and is hitting 333. 3 consecutive singles into left field, all off low pitches. And she'll be looking for another one.
Goes for that high ball there. We've got a high ball there being swung at it, which is probably what you wanted to see.
Up out of the strike zone, Kapadios chases it. No balls and 2 strikes. Natalie Collins working ahead of Marissa Kapadios with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Ooh, that mustn't have missed
nice
the place
pitch.
by much.
Just missed inside.
Get a good shot of that inside. You just see how it sort of curves on a lot of those pitches. Throwing that ball. Tough to hit for a hitter.
Just up out of the strike zone. 2 pitches in a row. Both looked like they were balls, but both extremely close. And well left by Marissa Kapadios. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And they're working Karpadios well here, mixing up the pitches this time. Giving a few high, few low.
They really did. They went inside, then they went up, and then right on the corner on the outside, fouls it off.
Another high ball there. Well done, Natalie Collins.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
Another pitch in the strike zone, another foul ball. This is a real battle here in the 7th inning between the first 3 hitters and Natalie Collins.
Natalie Collins has thrown a lot of pitches already. All these Queensland batters fouling off pitches.
And eventually she loses Marissa Kapadios after starting with 2 strikes.
But that's a good way to pitch to her this game. She's obviously seeing the ball well, and they're trying to pitch around, trying to entice her to hit balls.
Ball fouled straight onto look like the knee of Natalie Shapiro. Makes it dead immediately and strike 1. So 2 walks in the inning and a fly ball to shortstop gives Queensland runners at first and second with 1 out as they look to extend this 5-0 lead here in the 7th inning.
Natalie Shapiro seems like she must have a target onto this tournament. She seems to always be getting hit.
Nice change up. It really drifted sideways across the strike zone, but just a little bit too high. Evens the count at 1-1.
One ball, 1 strike on the hitter. Way out of the strike zone there. Not even enticing for Natalie Shapiro to strike at.
You're gonna do this,
Natalie Shapiro will be looking to get her first hit for the game here as well.
And all of a sudden, after being right around the plate, Natalie Collins misses outside and falls way behind Natalie Shapiro. 3 balls and 1 strike. Already 2 walks in the inning. And in danger of walking a third hitter and loading the bases.
Pressure's obviously on when you come on against batters like these. You don't want to hit right in the middle of the strike zone. Maybe she's just trying to cut it too fine.
Again comes back, but this ball is hit a long way down the left field line, over the home run fence, but just foul.
That was a long ball. I think that's the first time I've actually seen it hit over. Bit of a pity for her, though, that it was a foul ball. And lucky for ACT.
It was just hooking away. She got all of that and hit it a mile, but just foul. Wow, just misses down. A very close pitch. 3rd walk of the inning. This has been a tough inning for Natalie Collins. She's already thrown 30 pitches to the first 4 hitters. She's pitched pretty well, but run deep into the count and 3 walks.
Sharon Davies up to bat for Queensland.
Sharon Davies with 2 ground balls and hit it out into right field earlier in the game when she got thrown out at first base. This ball hit through the gap, past the second base, into centre field. Here comes the runner to the plate. And Queensland extend their lead through the good hitting of Sharon Davies at 6-0.
Good hitting from Sharon Davies. Again, one of the younger members of the side. I believe last year she was a pickup player for Northern Territory playing in the Australian Championships. And here she is, regular member, top 9 of Queensland, and hitting the ball well for them.
So the bases remain loaded. As Ann Vogler hits the ball to second base. Susie Brown can't come home, goes to first. They've got the runner hooked up at third base, back in time. But on the play, Queensland score their 7th run.
Making the 2nd out of the innings.
And that runner on third base takes off very quickly, makes it to home. Susie Brown has no time to throw there.
So Natalie Shapiro down there at third base. And it's 7-0. As Sandra Allen steps in, the original leadoff hitter.
Nice pick up there from Joe Brown in the catching position.
Sandra Allen is 1 for 3 in today's game. She's got a single into right field and a walk back in the first inning to lead off the game for Queensland.
Come on, Natty, concentrate on it. Let's go.
And this ball's ripped as well into left field. And here comes Natalie Shapiro to score. The throw gets away. That's going to allow Sandra Allen to head to second base. But only 1 run scores on the play, and now it's 8-0.
Great hit again from Sandra Allen. Low inside ball, gets her hands to it, and drives it out to left field. And scores Natalie Shapiro. 8-0. ACT are going to have to be careful. I mean, Natalie's had a terrible time coming on. She's really struggled getting those strikes in, and when she does, they're getting whacked.
And now we go back to Kelly Gentle. That's going to be all for Natalie Collins. She battled hard but couldn't do the job. And Kelly Gentle, the original starting pitcher, re-enters into the game, and she comes in to pitch to Kim Cooper with runners at second and third and 2 out, and Queensland on top by 8-0.
Inside ball there, just out of the strike zone for Kelly Gentle. Kim Cooper looking to get her first hit for the game here as well. Had a base on ball last time, walked to first base.
Cooper pulls it foul, straight to the coach, Simon Rosfus. Got to be tough for Kelly Gentle. Pitched through the first part of the game, then found herself on the bench, and now has had to get warmed up again and come back and try and stop this devastating Queensland rally here in the 7th inning.
Low off-speed ball there from Gentle, just out of the strike zone. Nice clear call from the umpire there.
This ball hit very hard to left field over Amanda Rostel's head all the way out to the fence. And in comes Sharon Davies, and Sandra Allen's going to come in to score as well as Kim Cooper slides into third with a triple. It's 10-0.
That was a beautiful three-base hit from the captain, Kim Cooper. Great hitting. She gets that ball early, but gets right through the middle of it. Drives it right out over the head of the left fielder. She had no chance of getting that.
And a long run from Amanda Rostel. And there we see Sharon Davies coming to score, and right behind her, Sandra Allen. And Queensland now just in devastating form here in the 7th inning as they look to head to the grand final against New South Wales. They've certainly done enough in this game.
And Kelly McKellar up to bat, who's had another great tournament with the bat this season.
Queensland, after they were beaten reasonably comfortably by New South Wales in an earlier playoff game that saw New South Wales advance to the grand final, really looking to make sure they get the chance to defend their title, and they've certainly done very well in this game, and they're going to get that chance in our next episode of Fast Pitch Softball.
Nice swing there from Kelly McKellar. Kelly McKellar, last year's most valuable player for the Australian women's tournament.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Kelly Gentle down out of the strike zone, but Kelly McKellar chases it, and the nightmare is over for the ACT. 5 big runs for Queensland in the 7th inning, and they lead 10-0.
And this for Queensland has been a real confidence booster. 10 runs to 0.
3 hits and 3 walks in the top of the 7th contributed to the 5 runs, and now it's the last call for the ACT in the bottom of the 7th. They've got a mountain to climb, and they're going to try and start it with Lisa Pridham.
That's tough. You're up down 10 runs, and you've got Brooke Wilkins on the mound throwing heat to you. You haven't got much of a chance. ERA 0.58. Excellent pitching, Brooke.
And the .58 means that in every 7-inning game that Brooke Wilkins throws, she gives up half a run, if you can understand that. Basically means 1 run every 2 games. Nice piece of hitting by Lisa Pridham on a line to Sharon Davies at second base. But she catches it for the first out.
Yes, and this year Queensland have had a bit of trouble with their second bases. Their 2 regulars, Linda Ward and Kathy Mitchell, aren't here, so Sharon Davies has taken that spot well.
Nice change up on the outside. Natasha Devlin swings through. 2 outs to go for Queensland to advance to the grand final.
Fast low ball in there against Natasha Devlin. Gets her hands up for that outside ball, but it just drops underneath that bat.
Natasha Devlin just fouling that one off. First strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good to hear the ACT team still calling out for their players, for their teammates.
They really have done very well to get this far into the tournament. They got the upset victory over Victoria. They've just been outmatched by Queensland. Natasha Devlin, pretty aggressive in the batter's box. Anything close, she's going after it.
And she's had a great couple of last games.
Can't reach that one, out off the plate, little half swing, and she strikes out. 9th strikeout of the ball game for Brooke Wilkins.
That's hard, 10 runs down. You walk into bat, and sometimes I think players just try too hard.
That really was way outside in the other batter's box. She couldn't get to it. And now with 2 out, Kylie Bloodworth comes in the bottom of the 7th, just trying to keep things alive for the ACT.
And Kylie Bloodworth's batting average doesn't look very good, but last couple of games she's been out there slamming that ball, so She's doing well. She's one player to watch.
This ball down in the dirt. Marissa Capadios pounces on it, but it's in foul territory. No balls and 2 strikes.
Bit of the talk between the pitcher and the catcher. 2 strikes, no balls. I wonder what they're talking about.
It's figuring out the best way to get this over, and the best way is to go straight after the hitter in this situation. And they do that. One down the middle, chopper over to first base. Sandra Allen flips it to Sharon Davies. The game's over and Queensland head to the grand final. Just a dominant performance by Brooke Wilkins.
Very one-sided from Queensland. Great pitching from Brooke Wilkins and fantastic batting from Queensland.
Queensland really just got off to a great start. A walk and then a couple of hits in the first inning gave them a 2-0 lead. They scored 3 more in the 4th, and then in the 7th inning just blew it wide open. 3 walks and 3 base hits. ACT have had a fabulous tournament. They really have done very well to get to the last 3, but they were just overpowered today. 11 hits to 3. There was 1 error each, but the big difference was the score, 10-0 in favour of Queensland.
Well, it was obviously an easy win for Queensland and a lot of batting practice in there. Obviously, it's not going to be the same in the final.
No, it won't, but you know, we're confident after yesterday's defeat. We've all done a bit of soul searching and we're ready to go. We're all confident and hopefully we can pull it off.
I mean, everyone must be thinking Mel Roach is going to be pitching the next game for sure for New South Wales. Can Queensland hit her?
Well, sure. I think we're all just so confident and focused, and we just got to put bat to ball and anything can happen like it did for them yesterday, and we'll just go for it.
So the game plan for Queensland, how do they beat New South Wales?
Hit the ball.
Well, definitely. It's a great time to start hitting. You're definitely on form. Hope you can carry it through to the finals.
Thanks very much, Joyce.
A very comfortable and convincing win there for Queensland. And next week we've got the biggest day on the Australian softball calendar, the Women's Grand Final, Queensland and New South Wales. Make sure you join us then.